Now, I know what you're thinking. And, okay, of course, I don't know what you're thinking. But this isn't my office. But it looks great, doesn't it? I mean, it's just beautiful. So here's the thing. Some of the incidents that happened this week were a lot to write down. Some of the best humor that I encountered, which is what this is all about, is humor that I actually encountered in my personal life, which I'm going to get to in a minute. They couldn't be written down, at least, I mean, not to this, not at my skill level. I mean, I'm just not that good of a writer. Not that I know of. However, I thought, since I have such little material for this week's video, and this being the 20th one, what a great monumental time to explain for those who have been asking or still have the question or just don't find the description of the video inclusive enough to explain to your liking, which I have no problem with. I like you. I want you to like how this is coming about. Here's an explanation. So, I was discovering that funny things happen every day. Been discovering this for my whole life. One day, I came up with the idea of writing things down that happen each day because I forget them all the time. I go to tell somebody and I forget something about them, or I forget that I'm going to tell them, or just, like my pastor has always said, better to trust a short pencil than a long memory. Well, I found ink lasts even longer than pencil, so I'm writing them down in ink. And I keep them in a journal. I call it my comedy journal. And each week I record this video of the incidences that happened that week, so then I can share them with even more people rather than just whoever might eventually end up reading my journal or that I would share it with that way. I started the idea telling one of my coworkers, Anthony, one of my favorite people to put in the journal. I've been complaining to him about not giving me material lately, but that's basically just a joke between him and I. Anyway, I told him one night at work, I think it was a Friday night, about this idea of getting a journal and eventually using that journal as a script for YouTube videos that I would do that would read the funny things that happened, and so then I could share them with other people. That night, after work, I went to Meijer and bought a journal and started then, and here we are, 20 weeks. Would this be 20 weeks later? 1 week? Yeah, this would be 20 weeks later from that point. I know for most of you might not think, well, how hard is that to figure out? I'm just thinking, is it 19, is it 20, is it 21? Not trying to confuse you. But, we're in the 21st century. Does that blow your mind? It's 2-0, but we're in the century of 2-1. So, the word so has been used too many times already in this video. I'm not going back and editing them out and that kind of thing. That's another part of the concept of how I'm doing the video, is to write down quick things. I can read them, I can record them, I can basically sum off the front and the back, so it looks like I was just sitting here, the video is recording itself, and it doesn't take up a lot of my time, and yet still enables me to share some of the joys of my life and things that made me laugh or smile or happy with you, and eventually, perhaps, with many others, because these videos are something that can last for quite a while. Now that I've rambled on all about that and lost all of you who aren't actually true fans, so let's see, we have Samantha and Thou Who Shall Not Be Named, and Sarah, if you've gotten around to reading this, are still left. Let's see, I think today we're going to tell you about an incident that happened the 11:25, Saturday, the 3rd of June, 2017, where I was on the phone with Jim, and I said to him, I just ran a 10K and I got all sweaty, and he says, well, that was stupid. Some supportive friend he is. At 07:50, Wednesday, the 7th of June, 2017, Sarah's sitting down, getting ready to eat some food, and before she eats, she's going to pray, and she says, I'm going to pray for my food. And I said, it's already dead. And she said, hallelujah. 1915, Friday, we're already at Friday, the 9th of June, 2017. I'd explained my dilemma of low amounts of entries to D, and D says to my fellow coworker, he doesn't have many entries in his journal for this week, so we need to say something funny. He looks at me, something funny. It was not really that funny, but I really thought it was funny, and I really appreciated Dee for helping me out, whether he was doing it sarcastically or not. He gave me another entry, and then a few minutes later, at 1930, I go over to where Veronica is doing some dishes, and Selena is there talking to her, and there is a little space between them. Not space enough for a person to easily walk it between them, and I stood there, and Veronica says, "You're making it weird, Kyle." And Selena says, "Yeah, Kyle, you're making it weird." To which I reply, "If it's not weird, I'm uncomfortable." Then I left because I didn't want to make them too uncomfortable. So I wanted to ask you, had you heard about the new corduroy pillows? They're making headlines. What? I didn't write that one, okay? Give me a break.